Hello.
Hey, Alisa.
Hey. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Deepak. Hi, Ken. All right. So we have just about like half an hour, right?
Mm.
So let's talk about what you guys have. I saw. Oh, let's start with Deepak. I saw your literature review, right? Can you explain that a little bit?
Oh, yes. So there are a few standard, there are a few standard NLP libraries, and I know that many of them cross over from Python to R.
Feel free to share your
And
screen,
oh, yeah,
if you like.
sure.
So those are all open source, right?
For the most part, they should be open source because they are from universities. So for the most part, they should be open source. And I know some of them are open source. Yes. Yep. If you want, I can go back and make a new column to just to check if all of them are open source or not.
I think they are all
Yeah.
open source, I guess. But so what's people? I mean, do you have like a performance metric that which one would work well for our project
Uh,
or
so
a review?
that is one thing that I could not find out. So I did not see like a performance metric on any of them. I went through multiple blog posts, but what I found is like everything has its own pros and cons. For example, some don't have a very good. Uh, I had seen one very good thing. So, for example, the Stanford Code NLP, it says that it doesn't have very good visualization skills. Some libraries don't allow you to make your own dictionary of like data sets of words. So there is like pros and cons for each of them.
I think I used text blob before, so it is it is very easy to use though text
Yes.
blob. You just call its library text blob in. I use it in Python, and just that just call and then you just um, call functions like there's two different score. I think polarities and I forgot. There's two functions from sentiment analysis, polarities, and what is the other thing? Yeah, just forgot. But so it's really easy to use, but they're just like mostly a few things that you can call. Um, well, we can try some of those now. Oh, by the way, you got invitation to the meeting, right? You got meeting with Tammy tomorrow.
Oh, yes, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. I expect that would be me asking Tammy to show her process, and I will try to be the host and record the sessions, so we can come back and review. Yeah.
So for the library, I would suggest that don't start with NLTK because it is not production ready. Like it is not used for production software. But we can start from Spacey and we can see which is more easier to use, and whatever works well, just use a greedy algorithm. Like whatever works well, just start off with that. And
Does that work with R as well?
I know that GenSim works with R. I don't know if Spacey works with R. I don't remember that.
Okay, so right now we've been using Google Cloud API, right?
Yeah.
How does it work so far, Andy? Good.
Yeah, I
Well,
think so.
so Andy calls speech to text, right? I mean speech API. Is it?
Yeah.
So sorry, I interrupt you. What do you think so far? Working well?
Yeah, I think it works well. Maybe the only thing I think that might be annoying is how you see it says speaker one, speaker two every time the speakers change. So that is a thing to note. I'm assuming you want to use regular expressions to remove that from the character string,
Oh.
but I don't know. So, did it work all right for you, Shinyi?
Okay, Andy, quick follow-up. Sorry.
Shinji, you're muted. Did you
Oh.
say?
Sorry, and I'm still working on that, on the speaker one, speaker two, speaker two too.
Okay.
And I'm trying to use the regular expression to remove that.
Okay. Also do this.
Are there a way to turn it off? No?
Yeah, I can turn it off. So that the only reason why that happens is because I have it set to classify 2 speakers.
Mhm.
But if you just set it to 1, it won't say any speaker 1 or speaker 2. It will just give out the conversation as if it was like a paragraph, and you knew who the speakers were by the way they talk.
Well, what if there are 10 speakers? How does it work then?
So from when I downloaded audio logs with say 4 or 5 speakers, and I had it set to 4 or 5, it would go. I said this yesterday, 2 days ago, but say speaker 1 talks, and then speaker 2 talks, and it has speaker 1, speaker 2, and if speaker 1 talks again, they classify them as speaker 3, even though it's actually speaker 1. So it goes in this order of voice again. So I don't know why that's happening, but it shouldn't be happening, because even if say you only have 2 speakers, if speaker 1 talked and then speaker 2 talked, but it's able to say speaker 2 says something and then maybe speaker 2 says something again. So it is able to pick up on voice recognition. So I'm still trying to work out that kink, but currently I was talking to Addy Sack yesterday, and like we're mostly only focused on 2 speakers right now. So there might not be a reason to try to write code to fix that.
Yeah, I think.
But
Yeah.
I also think it might be a problem because the function call that I'm using in that chunk of code is deprecated, whatever you want to call it. So, and they have a new version to use. So I do need to update it, because the documentation I was reading was older, but it still runs. The code still runs, which I was a little surprised if it's deprecated. But
Yeah, well, just like what we talked yesterday, I think the voice recognition, it's another issue. I mean, another big problem, but we probably don't have to deal with that. 2 speaker would be useful, and we should try to keep those information somehow. You can try to remove those speaker 1 and 2 by required expression. But again, if you think about this, it is useful to keep it as a separate column at least.
yeah.
So the thing about it, when if you're going to train like machine learning model after this, then the keyword that came from speaker 1 versus speaker 2, well, exactly what I like to say is the terms that came from like the caller who need help and the like helper, what's called like consultant or operators, it would be a different thing, right? The keyword from what's the person who called, it would be a separate thing, and we might focus more on that, and we might want to get rid of the operators, or we might want to train them separately as different features. Okay. So we let model try to figure out the different keywords and based on different person, and yeah, so that would be useful for sure. Can you if we say speaker 1 and speaker 2 before the
Yeah, so
text of what they say, right?
I'll type. I think so. There is a general pattern of there's a character string pattern for every time a speaker talks. So there is a way to separate it into that 2-column format if you would like to. So maybe
Yeah,
it's just like,
can you share the screen, Eddie?
yeah. So, sorry, I was trying to load in the QGIS.
Oh.
I think Rivana is down today.
Oh,
Really?
down the whole system?
Yeah, I tried doing it
Yeah.
on RStudio and it doesn't work.
Do you guys use P100? Or you just take a look at that, right? V100 will be the fastest though, by the way.
Oh, is it? I was trying to figure that out. I was like, what's faster, a P100,
Yeah,
a K80? Which one's the best?
Yeah, I went to that Google thing before, and it's the newest one, Volta architecture. We don't have it in, I would say, like, too bad yet, but they do, and it's Summers that's more generally available. I used to try to train a model on V100 on Rivana. It's nice. The tricky thing is you can request up to 4 GPU, but it won't for TensorFlow. It's very tricky to set up for utilize like multiple GPU. Anyway,
Well, I'll just say, let me type this in chat. So I actually thought, so it looks like the, how do I get here? Don't know what I'm doing. Trying to get the chat.
do you mean Slack, right?
So this is like the speaker 1. So it looks like there is no,
Is it on in your sidebox that you share?
yeah, it is. So you can all have a look at that data set. I didn't, so it's like the column format goes as like database, data set, type of file, and then the transcription. And the transcription, it's just a massive character string in a cell. So I didn't store it as a list or anything because at the end of the
So
day.
let me share my screen. Do you see my
Yeah.
screen? Oh, okay. You type it in the chat, right?
So that's
So
like
is
the
this-
actual pattern.
Is this the folder? Talkback
And
media?
yeah, and is there a data set one?
Is this Hotline media folder?
Yep, it is the TalkBank media, and then I think it's the last one maybe.
Okay.
Yep, there it is.
Rough.
And that's about 5 hours worth of transcriptions.
Oh, just
And if you there is like the full transcription is there. It just doesn't look like it. So if you open it up in R, you'll see it's all there. Or if you are able to,
oh, it's there. Right? I mean,
yeah, it's just a map. I didn't store it as a list because at the end of the day, you are going to have to extract it after the list.
oh, there's a lot inside here. Right?
Oh, it's around an hour each in each cell block. So yeah.
So maybe I open it up in maybe my Notepad++.
Okay, yeah, that's how it looks.
Oh, so there's always a new line, right? Speaker 2. I see. And would there be like double of speaker 1 or double of speaker 2, or
From my
there's not, right?
there isn't. So I would like listen to the call log just to make sure, and it was able to perfectly separate the two speakers.
It's perfectly.
To like basically separate them, yeah.
Okay, so you mean that if it's like speaker 2 continue on like multiple sentence, then they would just like a single line, right? Until they switch.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, this is cool. One thing, do do they have timestamp?
No.
Ah,
At least the code that I wrote. You maybe can add that. There might be something in the Google documentation that allows you.
I see. Now I can see a benefit here. Well, I think when you try to clean this data up, um, you can try remove speaker 1, speaker 2 entirely. Don't forget to maybe you need to keep a space or line break instead of these. Maybe line break is fine. Oh, and so I guess this, I think both way might be beneficial in the future. So why don't keep it like 2 separate versions? Like the one it's speaker 1 and speaker 2 separated, maybe into separate like blob or file, a separate column, basically.
Yeah.
So here's all speaker 1 say, and another portion is all the speaker 2 say, and another version is like speaker 1 and 2 combined. Just remove those speaker 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm going to make like speaker 1 as a new column and speaker 2 as a new column. So when I analyze the word frequency and the word length, it can be specific to the 2 columns.
Yeah, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but you can you do it as a 2 separate version, and then do the same thing, the same process to treat it like a 2 separate data set. Then maybe you can also compare result. Maybe it's more significant when the speaker 1 say something. I assume speaker 1 is the person who called in, or maybe it might just show that just to combine, it's maybe better. I don't know what to expect. What I'm guessing is maybe if people call in for asking for help, they mention something, and those keywords that we interested in, it maybe got repeated by the call center person as well, or not, or yeah, like I don't really know what to expect, but yeah, there's something to play with.
That comes under trigger word detection, right? In the attention model, it's called trigger word. Like when someone uses one word, then the model focuses on that.
Yes, and right now we don't have that trigger word. Well, actually, that would be one of the questions that we should ask Tammy as well. Right? What should be the important keywords that would trigger you there to do some certain task? Like, for example, if the person say tax, then taxes, a tax return, then of course they know that they will refer that person to like tax advisor, right? And they mention that, or health related, or I don't know, COVID will be the keyword. Well, we can get a real keyword from what they're actually using in the call center. What's their actual concern? What do you guys think? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. And I tried these data sets to do some analysis in the R yesterday. Do you want to share? Do you want to look there?
Yes, please. Yes, please. So you're doing this with Ken, or doing it alone, or?
I do this alone because it use R. I'm using R to analysis that.
All right, no problem. Oh,
and I find some interesting visualization.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't work cloud. Let's see the plus first. Oh yeah, that's I find the most frequently used word in that data set. But because I think maybe I need to remove some words like I, you, this like word, because it's just automatically to stop the words like word by words and to count the number of words showed in that transcript.
Yeah, I think if you just so if the tidy text package, you can load a data set called stop words, and then
Oh yeah,
you can anti-join your
yeah,
token data set with that.
yeah. I used this before, but it seems it doesn't work. But maybe I need more time to figure out
Hmm.
this.
I think the data stop words itself has to be in parentheses.
Parentheses.
Yeah, because it used to be in the old version of tidy text that you didn't need to have parentheses around it, or quotes. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Quotes. So at data, not that one, but at the data above.
This one.
Yeah. Oh no. Like this.
Quote, right? Like a
Data
double quote, you mean?
quotes. Is that they're called? Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, like this.
Oh.
Yeah,
Double
yeah. And then if you go to your if you load that and go to your global environment, you'll see if it worked or not.
Hmm. Okay. Anyway, but I want to figure out this later. But I want
Okay.
to show
Yeah.
the cloud visualization. This one. Yeah. Did you see this? Yeah, it's a kind of I used the frequency words, and it can automatically generate the word clouds. And then when you move your mouse to the words, it will show the numbers of these words showed, like 964.
Yeah, and I think this has a lot of potential with this idea of, so with these people who are calling to like these hotlines, they need a lot of help. And there is that sense of like pride or embarrassment. And I always think that maybe like a window or a separate page, like you are not alone, and a word cloud can be constantly generating of what other people are searching and popping up these words. That's what I always think word clouds would be good for.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's really cool.
yeah, and also analyze the word length, number of word length. I'm not sure it's rather meaningful, but I just try to use that. The word length. This one. I think it's descending order, so it's only show the longest word length.
So here I'll also post this for the data stop words. This is just an example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somehow the longer word length look interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to use, but we get to see like a longer, and seems like that's more meaningful, right? Like Massachusetts, transitional, immigrations, firefighter, ridiculous. So it is interesting. I don't know why, right? So maybe on your word cloud, yeah, if you get to remove the software, then that would be great.
Yeah.
This
I
is really
think
cool.
yeah, I still need sometimes to clean the data set, like especially the speaker. I need to make the speaker 1 as a new column and speaker 2 as a new column, so I can see what's the most frequent words for the speaker 1 and what's the most frequent words used for the speaker 2.
Yeah. So,
And
sorry. Go ahead.
and I And I didn't did the sentiment tree analysis because I don't have time to do that. And I'm gonna try to later before I clean this data set enough.
Sure. Yeah, I think both of these are cool, very cool. So let's continue to craft this. I think this is one of the visualization that could be part of the prototype for sure. It's a one of the different idea that you can have.
I think Kent is working on sentiment analysis, and that way maybe Ginny can work on this and Kent can work and I can help Kent if they get stuck anywhere. Yeah.
Or additional to your word cloud of like most frequent and also like the longest word, can you also do kind of, I don't know, maybe just like a word cloud, but maybe just like a list and maybe like showing small chart on how many times it is appear. So I think word cloud, it's good when people just want to see different words pop up, and there's the bigger size is mean like the bigger, right? But you have to hover the mouse over to see what it's the actual number of that's happening, right?
Do you mean use the word cloud to show the number of the words showed?
It's just like word cloud, I think, but maybe putting that into a kind of a list. Do they have it available in that package? I mean, in library, would there be like a parameters to generate different style of word cloud? So it's not a word cloud anymore, but it's showing like maybe a list of words, maybe top 20, just like what you got in word cloud. But this time it's not different in size. Let's say that if you have some keyword like help on the top, then they may be like showing some kind of a bar chart or
okay,
maybe horizontal chart that's showing amount of that. I'm just thinking out loud. It might be a different style. I think that whatever is available easily from the package that you're using, then just try to explore that. It doesn't have to be exactly what I described though. But that will show like the information about how many times it's appeared a little bit easier to see and slightly more informative. Word count is great, but this can also be one additional to that. Now, can it be kind of a graph? Is this possible?
Graph for what exactly?
For kind of keywords.
Yeah, so with you'd probably have to for word cloud, I'm pretty sure what you're looking for, word cloud offers that. But also if you wanted to do a bar chart where you like flip the axes, you can just you can write like a little code that pastes the word over the bar chart.
Oh.
So a bar will have the word in it. I exactly don't remember. I've done it before, but
yeah, well, if it's available right away, I mean, if it's just put in some parameters and it's happened, then it's good. If you have to do extra work to make it happen, then let's just keep it as an idea for now.
yeah, I don't use the word cloud library really, but I remember Sean talking about being able to do what you were sort of wanting to do with it in a Zoom call earlier a couple weeks ago.
See. So is this the word cloud libraries in R?
Yeah. Is that right, Shini? I believe so. Is it word cloud?
Yeah, word cloud.
Okay, that's cool.
Word cloud too.
Oh, okay, word cloud too.
Yeah.
All right. Go, go on. Is that? Do you have?
Oh, I can stop.
I think Kent is remaining.
Oh, so with the help of Deepak, I finally got like the API to work, and I tested and these text on it, but something a little bit weird. I mean, we got like the overall sentiment analysis for like the entire conversation, but I don't know how and what it is doing at the end, but it shows like 20 sentences, but there's clearly more than like 20 like back to forth like conversations. So I don't know what that is doing, but if you guys are just looking to analyze like the entire conversation, we probably have that figured out.
Can you share your screen about that? Just
I don't have it running on my terminal right now.
Oh, you did it in Rivana?
No, it's not on Rivana. It's like just my Mac's terminal. So it's running off Python, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So essentially what happens is that if you like throw in a paragraph of sentences, it will output one number, one sentiment score. And on the basis of that, that is, I think, as far as we reached to understand its functionality. So on the basis of that, you can say, you can classify it as happy or sad or something like that, like positive or negative.
But
It's like a binary.
It's not based off like the sentiment of the overall like word wise, or so you're doing by paragraph, so it will analyze the mood of a paragraph or a sentence.
It will analyze the mood of the entire text.
Oh, okay.
So
I just sent like the screenshot of like the result that I got. So I don't know how they categorize sentence, but they actually do it by sentence, and I think 20 sentences is the max based on the default, but I can see like what's the logic behind. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so Kent, you were able to break it down into sentences too, because yesterday when we were analyzing it, it was a whole piece of text, right? Like the test that we ran.
Oh yeah, because the one that we were running is just like a few words, but I use like Andy's conversation to try it out, and I don't even know why it's just generating 20 sentences. I don't know if that's the maximum that we could do, but I can see what's the logic behind.
All right.
And Isaka, did you mute yourself?
True, I was muted. Sorry. Okay. All right, so that's why. Here, this is what Ken said, and why don't you make a line chart, Ken? I think this would be cool. So I think this score is just a positive or negative of that phrase or sentence.
Mm-hmm.
How about you make a line chart between sentence 1 to sentence 20, or the beginning to the end of the whole conversation, and the height of the chart of the line is just basically the score.
Yeah, I think I need to figure out like how they classify a sentence, because there's clearly more than 20 sentences, but I don't know why it's just generating this amount of things.
This may be a limitation, then maybe you have to increase some parameters. But let's say this: if you have the whole conversations, and then you can make a one line chart, or you can make a two separate line. One would be speaker one, and another line is speaker two, and it's go up and down based on this score. Now, usually sentiment analysis score it's positive or negative, right? And if the term is speaking positively about something, then usually it's a positive score. Something that's concerned a negative, then it will be a negative score. Is that? Does everyone agree with that? Then now, line chart would show that during the conversations, I guess the idea would be at the beginning, maybe there's more negative because people call in with a concern. What they say maybe like negatively. And then when they get help, would they go up? So at the beginning, if they're down, and at the end of the call, if they're going up, then kind of success. Would that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
And regarding the discussion.
Oh, this is 10 ready. And so please also verify what I say. But what I understand, it's a score is positive. It's polarities. I think it's a polarity, right? So usually sentiment analysis, they have polarities, and it means what the term, it's kind of, it's just like if you talk bad to someone, the whole sentence will be classified as like negative in polarity score. We'll read more about that. And if that's the case, then you can break down to speaker one and speaker two and plot a line chart based on this score. It will be like a line go up and down. But if you see that the line is lower before and there's zero line, and if it's like kind of went up or tend to go up over the period of time of the conversation, then it's great. Sounds like the person who called in got more comforting help or advice, and they feel better. Cool. Yep. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Or you can just try to plot that. Now, one last thing before we go here is I just do word cloud to our package and then just search images. I think this is what you can do with the word cloud packages. And
oh, yeah.
But
wait, did Deepak leave?
I think he had something.
Yeah, we are in the same group as him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me just done. Last.
Oh, I know.
That's right. Now, one thing that is just catch my eye is, oh, where is that? It's this one. Seems like this one there's a class that they can classify or clustering. We don't have class right now. But when in the future when we do, then we can classify those words into a class. But right now what we have maybe just a speaker one or speaker two. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
And when you separate that as speaker one and two and you make a word cloud together, then it could be two different colors and it can generate into word cloud. That would be cool thing to do.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So out of time.
Yep. Actually, I was trying to use word cloud to make a hotline like these words to show that, but I think because I didn't update my R Studio version, so there's a package I cannot like update.
Do you mean put into a shape of the word hotline?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of fun, but I don't think it's really.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be fun though, but yeah, maybe circle. All right, but if you can separate into two colors or two classes of speaker one and two, that would be cool for sure.
Okay, I think we have to go. I'll see
Okay,
you guys
thank you
next time.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.